Are Ford's electric dreams blowing a fuse? The unexpected production shakeup with the F-150 Lightning has certainly left the EV community buzzing. But could a bigger triumph for another iconic vehicle actually be in the works? All I can say is, this latest twist means the spotlight belongs to Bronco and Ranger now. Today I'm breaking down this manufacturing switch-up straight from Detroit HQ. We're getting into all the key details, from one moonshot electric pickup slowing as demand cools to all hands on deck ramping up some legendary off-road beasts instead to ride the sales explosion. Factor in battery costs, an economic squeeze, plus questions on whether Ford stuck the electrification shift too early before the market was fully ready. And what emerges is a fascinating strategic play to balance Ford's books short-term while keeping long-term ambition alive. Buckle up, because there's big news coming out of Detroit. Ford just announced major shakeups to their manufacturing plans that will impact some of their most popular vehicles. This will have huge implications across Ford's lineup moving forward. So let's break it all down. We'll start with the electric sensation that is the F-150 Lightning pickup truck. Now I know many of you have been eager to get your hands on one of these revolutionary EVs. With instant torque, a futuristic interior, and innovative features like powering your home during an outage, the Lightning has captured America's imagination as a glimpse into the electrified future. But over the last several months, demand for the game-changing Lightning hasn't quite kept pace with Ford's ambitious production targets. This seems to be a trend across the EV industry lately as raw material constraints, battery costs, and economic uncertainty have put pressure on automakers. So in response, Ford is temporarily pumping the brakes on F-150 Lightning output. Starting this April, they are cutting the Lightning's production capacity in half at their Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan. That means only one shift cranking out Lightnings instead of the previous two. This will impact around 1,400 Ford employees, with 700 workers being transferred to one of Ford's gas-powered vehicle plants in the area. The other 700 will take buyouts or be reassigned to other facilities as well. Now make no mistake, this doesn't mean Ford is abandoning their electric future. As CEO Jim Farley stated, customers love the F-150 Lightning, America's best-selling EV pickup. We see a bright future for electric vehicles for specific consumers, especially with our upcoming digitally advanced EVs. But with today's market dynamics and pricing pressures, Ford believes it makes better financial sense to focus more effort on core bread and butter models with traditionally high demand. And that brings us to our next chapter. With one door closing for EVs at the moment, Ford is clearly betting bigger on their iconic off-road SUVs and trucks. I'm talking about the Bronco, Bronco Raptor, Ranger, and Ranger Raptor, some absolute beasts. These rugged, go-anywhere vehicles have developed cult followings among outdoor enthusiasts. And soaring customer appetite for these models has led to lengthy waitlists and supply shortages across Ford dealers. Sensing the momentum, Ford is going all in to pump out more Broncos and Rangers to capitalize. They just announced nearly 900 new manufacturing jobs, along with investing in a third production shift at their Michigan assembly plant. That means going from a 5-day to a 7-day work week for the Wayne, Michigan factory. By adding more crews over an extra shift, Ford hopes to get Bronco and Ranger output accelerating rapidly to meet demand. As CEO Farley explained, we see a bright future for these iconic vehicles loved by recreational and commercial customers alike. So for those of you hoping to get behind the wheel of an ultra-capable new Bronco or Ranger soon, your prospects just got a whole lot better. It seems Ford is confident focusing on these trucks and SUVs is the better play right now compared to scaling EV production further. And this brings us to the underlying narrative taking shape, Ford making strategic moves to balance growth, inventory, and profits in an unpredictable auto market. With inflation impacting costs and consumer spending tentative, they are working to stabilize their financial position. That meant aggressively adjusting the model mix and manufacturing commitments on the fly. As Farley summed it up, we are taking advantage of our manufacturing flexibility to offer customers choices while balancing our growth and profitability. Now I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed by the F-150 Lightning slowdown. As an EV enthusiast, it hurts seeing production of such a groundbreaking vehicle paused when it still feels like EVs are just getting started making their mark. But from a business perspective, I can't really blame Ford for doing what they feel is necessary to ensure stability and cope with an uncertain economy over the next year. The auto industry is heading into a challenging transitional period, no doubt. Still, I choose to see the silver lining for electric vehicle supporters like us. I believe Ford remains completely committed to an electric future long-term. This is just a short-term production shift on one model to stay profitable through current turbulence. And once battery costs keep improving and economic conditions normalize, EVs will only get more affordable and practical for mainstream buyers. That bodes well for Ford amping up next-gen electrified vehicles and resuscitating F-150 Lightning output once the time is right. So for any of you still holding out hope of buying a Lightning, you may just need to extend your patience a little while longer. But something tells me awe-inspiring electric pickups are poised to make a major comeback within the next few years. Overall, these announcements out of Detroit mark a pivotal moment for Ford. Between economic uncertainty and sweeping vehicle transitions, they face tricky waters to navigate. But by staying light on their toes, adjusting the model mix dynamically, and playing to their strengths, I believe they are putting themselves on a steady footing to thrive into the future. So let's recap and sum up all. The red-hot F-150 Lightning facing cutbacks as Ford presses pause on their EV truck plans for now. Cooling demand and economics necessitate a short-term shift after overestimating the market. Meanwhile, all hands on deck for turbocharged Bronco and Ranger output to meet the ravenous demand from off-road lovers. Ford going to pedal to the metal on their proven core bread and butter vehicles to balance the books. It's a twist and strategy indicating the long road ahead still for mass EV adoption, but also Ford playing to their strengths during a transitional period for maximum flexibility. Now I want to hear from you. What do you make of Ford's recent maneuvers? Are you disappointed by the Lightning slowdown or believe Ford made the right call? And will you be trying to get your hands on a new Bronco or Ranger later this year? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. I know we are all eagerly awaiting the EV pickup movement to be brought back to life soon. So hit subscribe to ride shotgun with me on the road ahead.